How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. OpenSea API users warned of third-party security breach. NFT marketplace OpenSea has warned certain platform users to rotate the keys used for their APIs after a third-party security breach left them vulnerable to attackers. One of their vendors has experienced a security incident that may have exposed information about your OpenSea API key. So change your key ASAP. So we're not covering the Dixie today. You'll notice it shows it has a change, but it has a day and like some minutes, an hour. So it's not going to really take effect until tomorrow. So there's no point in looking at it yet. Our total is taking a little bit of a pullback. Stochastic is coming down. RSI is starting to bend out. The momentum is rolling over here. And our VWAP is continuing a bearish trend. Our money flow is in jeopardy of starting a bearish trend here as well. If we get a lower low tomorrow, then that would set us up for a bearish trend and we could see price action drop lower. This could all have been one big retest like I warned everyone about. Our stochastic is starting to get a bearish divergence and it does want to bring us down here on our dominance, so we may have a sell-off on Bitcoin. Our stochastic is dumping pretty hard. Momentum is coming out with a red dot. That is because our VWAP's in the bearish territory and is coming down. Our money flow is overall trending out, so we do have a little bit more bearish momentum here than we do bullish. Again, if you guys would like to see lower time frames on these like higher things, let me know and we can cover those. But unless you want that, I'm going to keep it top level daily because we're not going to get into the micro. The micro only matters on the ones you really want to watch for trading. These are more like how your trend is going. Our Bitcoin futures is starting to trend out. We do have continual red candles, but they're weak red candles here, so there is a possibility we could get a push up and continue forward if we get some decent momentum tomorrow. Our stochastic is pushing out, RSI is coming out, the VWAP's rolling over, and the momentum is pushing over as well. The momentum has a red dot because the VWAP's bearish, and the money flows in a bearish trend. So overall, we do look like we could see continual price action down. But with the weak red candles, there is still that possibility of a reversal to happen. We're going to have to watch these lower time frames. On Bitcoin, we are pushing away from resistance pretty decently. So if we get a decent red candle tomorrow that pushes us even lower, below right around where we're sticking, then that could start a downtrend and we could see this pattern break finally. Our stochastic's overall pushing out. We do have a bit of a curl going on, so it does want to push forward. Our RSI is overall trending out. Our momentum is coming away. And our money flow is a little bit in a bearish trend. It has lower highs. If it gets a lower low here, then we would confirm a bearish trend and we could see lower price action. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, and if it continues this way, we could see lower price action as well. Over on the 4 hour, nothing too strong on this current candle. The last candle was a bit stronger. Our stochastic had a bearish divergence that ultimately brought us down. We spilled over pretty bad. This was a bit of a Bart Simpson. VWAP is pushing lower. Our money flow wants to push to the neutral, but we're kind of stalling here. If we don't cross over this neutral and make a higher high, we are in jeopardy of watching it roll over, start a bearish trend, and bring us even lower. Momentum is coming out, and with the VWAP falling, that's likely going to continue. Over on these lower time frames, we're going to want to watch. If they stay in bearish territory, we're likely going to have a bearish trend. Stochastic's pushing down pretty hard, RSI is coming out. Our money flow is rejecting away from that neutral, so we could see continual price action down from here, and our VWAP is in the bearish territory as well. The momentum is in the bearish territory, so overall everything is pushing lower and pushing down pretty violently. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a bit of a rounding top here. If you're not familiar with that pattern, smash that like, hit the subscribe, and join us in the Discord. We have some resources that'll help you get familiar. RSI is overall trending out, stochastic's overall falling, our money flow is pushing away, and our VWAP is starting to reject away from that neutral as well. The momentum is pushing lower, so overall we do have some bearish momentum that could start to take over here. If we don't manage to see that VWAP cross to the bullish side, and roll up here, we're likely going to watch it form a lower low or a consistent low that could bring us even lower. Over on graph for the daily, we are pushing back down toward our pattern, so if we do break back into it, this would just be a fake breakout. This was almost a full move, so that would also put us in jeopardy of rejecting away from a full breakout. Our stochastic is overall pushing down, our size coming out, our momentum is rolling away, our VWAP is pushing into the bearish territory, and our money flow has fallen to the bearish territory as well. If the money flow continues down in this bearish territory, we're going to set a bearish trend, and we will likely see lower price action. Over on the 4 hour, we have a manipulation X that did bring us down. Our stochastic came crashing down, our RSI is sliding. The money flow is sticking in the bearish territory in the 4 hour, but it's not very strong, so it does have a possibility to give a bit of upside momentum if we see this VWAP continue to roll up here. Our momentum is trying to roll up as well as our VWAP's pushing forward, so if lower time frames can become bullish, that could help propel this 4 hour forward. Over on the 2 hour, this could be a goofy head and shoulders where we have like a really long distance from our shoulder. It's like some sort of mutant shoulder. Our stochastic's overall pushing down, our size pushing down, our money flow is in the bearish territory, and our VWAP is struggling to break through that neutral. So if it doesn't break through and go bullish here, we're likely going to flop over, break the support, and see lower price action. The momentum is pushing down pretty decently. It's not really showing signs of curling yet, even though that VWAP's trying to get a push to the bullish side. Over on the 1 hour, you can see we're overall zigzagging away. We were in the downtrend, but then we went kind of sideways, went really goofy and haywire, and broke that downtrend. So now we could just push lower and not have a possibility of a push up. Our RSI is starting to push lower. Stochastic's trying to push forward here, but the RSI is dipping very brutally. Our VWAP is struggling to maintain any kind of strength above this 5. It's not hard to see because of the bullish divergence here. But we have two tops here and here that we did reject away from previously, and that started this downtrend. So we are starting to reject away here as well. Our money flow has a bearish trend, so it is likely that that trend could continue, and we're going to see lower price action from here. Our momentum's overall trending out, so I would watch out if we get that VWAP to break bearish. This momentum's not going to let up anytime soon. Over on the daily for anchor, we are getting a little bit of a push away. Nothing too strong though. We do have a potential to kind of set up a topping pattern, not a tweezer top though. Our stochastic is starting to get a bearish divergence. It does want to push away from it, but we are in jeopardy of seeing it roll over if we don't get some strength here. Our RSI is starting to point down, momentum's starting to come down, it is starting to roll away. Our VWAP's getting lower highs. If it makes a lower low, that would start a bearish trend, and we could see it break the neutral and start a pretty decent drop to the bottom. Our money flow is flipping into the bearish territory, so if that continues with the VWAP falling, we're likely going to see that leg down. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we're kind of rolling away here. We have done this a couple times and then push up. So if we don't get a decent push up from here, that trend could break and we ultimately could fall away. This was a bit of an up channel. Up channels are descending patterns that break you down, so I wouldn't get too comfortable with it doing this. Our stochastic's overall pushing out with a bearish divergence that could bring us down. Our RSI is losing strength and the momentum's starting to roll over here. The VWAP has fallen into the bearish territory and the money flow is falling pretty decently as well. We are kind of hanging up around this 13, so if we manage to curl up and gain some support here, we could see continued price action forward. However, if we continue to fall through this zone, we're going to see continual price action down, and we could fall back out of this bear flag. Over on the 2 hour, we have a manipulation X that wants to bring us down. Our RSI is overall sliding. It is trying to get a little bit of a rebound, but our money flow is flirting with that bearish territory. If it breaks through this neutral, we could see continued price action to the downside. That VWAP is in the bearish trend and the momentum is in the bearish territory. The stochastic's pretty beat down, so the 2 hours not looking very strong here. If the 1 hour stays in the bearish territory, it's likely going to pull this into the bearish territory as well, and then that will weaken our medium to higher time frames. Over on the 1 hour, we are kind of just zigzagging around. This could be a bit of a Bart Simpson that could reject us down. RSI is overall pushing out, stochastic's overall pushing out, our money flow is pushing into the bearish territory, and our VWAP is starting to roll over, kind of confirming a bearish trend. If it continues to roll over, we're going to see lower price action from here. We do have a bit of a support we're hanging on. If we break this zone, we likely could see a move to the bottom of our pattern, at which point, if we break that, we'll see those lower price targets that we've been mentioning. Our momentum is pushing out into the bearish territory pretty strong. It doesn't really have much room to go, but it could hang out here for a while with everything else pushing down. That was a pretty violent move down that wants to break our support, so I would watch out for that. Over on XRP, you can see we're getting a pretty similar move. So everything could be starting to break here. We are breaking our point control on our volume profile for the daily for XRP, so that does put us in danger of moving to our value area low down here, right around that 46-cent zone, so we could see a bit of a drop off here. Stochastic is starting to roll over, RSI is starting to roll over, and our momentum starting to reject with the red dot as our VWAP has fallen into the bearish territory. If we see that VWAP continue down with this money flow falling into the bearish territory and continuing bearish action, we're going to see continual price action down, especially since this is on the daily. That carries a little bit more weight than when it's on an hourly or a 2 hourly. Our stochastic is pushing down, RSI is pushing down as a result. It does have a green dot that wants to push us forward, but our money flow could break into the bearish territory here. If the money flow falls into the bearish territory on the lower time frames and holds, it's likely going to weaken this 4 hour, which will weaken that daily and bring us even lower. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, confirming a bearish trend as we have lower highs and we are making lower lows. Our momentum is pushing out, so overall I would say watch out. Over on the 2 hour, we have a manipulation exercise is playing out right now. Stochastic is dropping pretty violent. RSI is dropping pretty hard. Our VWAP has fallen into the bearish territory. It's going kind of flat here. We have gone flat a couple of other times right in the zone, so if we do manage to get support and bounce, we could break above this resistance, break back into our pattern, and try to trend up. But if we kind of come back up and get rejected by this resistance, we're likely going to fall away, and we could see that VWAP curl over and start more of a bearish trend. Our money flow is falling overall. Our momentum's falling overall because our VWAP is getting weaker. So overall, the 2 hours are not looking too strong. The 1 hour, our money flow is continuing to fall and reject away from neutral, so it is confirming a bearish trend. We are trying to make a lower low. So if we make a lower low here on our money flow and our VWAP continues to fall down, we could be in jeopardy of seeing lower price action and seeing that other point control and value area low around that 38-cent zone. So over onto Algo. Over onto Algo for the daily. Oh, I accidentally switched coins. We are trying to push our support resistance area, so we are doing a little better than our other coins. Shockingly, Algo has been a little beat up and a little, I want to say separated from the market. It kind of falls in tandem, but not quite as much as you would expect. It's kind of doing its own thing and acting wacky. Our stochastic is trying to head up. RSI is overall kind of meeting resistance here. Momentum is pushing forward. Our VWAP's overall trending out, and it is in danger of breaking through this neutral. Our money flow is struggling to get past this 5 zone, so if we don't break through this and continue forward, we're likely going to meet resistance and fall to the bearish side. We are pushing above our point control, our value area low, and our kind of support resistance area for one of our flag points, but we are getting all these wicks to the zone. If we're not able to actually get a candlestick to stick through here and continue forward, we could ultimately get rejected from this 10-cent zone. So I would keep that in mind. But the more we hit the zone, the more it does get weaker. So even if we get a triple top to form here and we reject away, that does set us up to break through easier next time. You can kind of see we're trying to make that fall. If we break through the support here, we could make that triple top and see it fall down. RSI is overall trending out. Stochastic does have a bearish cross and it does want to push lower. Our momentum's overall setting up bearish divergence with lower highs, and our VWAP's overall falling to the bearish side. If we break to the bearish territory and make a lower low with our VWAP, we will confirm a bearish trend and we can see lower price action. You can see we already are in a bearish trend as we had a high, a low, a lower high, lower low, lower high. So if we get another lower low, it would continue our bearish trend and we could ultimately push away from here. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic is rounding out and pushing down. RSI is pushing away. Our momentum is rounding away with a red dot, and our VWAP is falling to the bearish territory. The money flow is starting to push away, but we are maintaining some bullish strength. So if the money flow doesn't break through this 4 or 5 zone, then we could continue bullish strength. However, if the money flow pushes through that and the VWAP manages to maintain bearish strength, then we will likely see lower price action. Over on the 1 hour, we have a manipulation X that's trying to drop us down right now. Our RSI and stochastic want to dump. Our momentum's trying to fall with a red dot, and our VWAP is in a bearish trend. Our money flow is starting to curl away, overall making lower highs and lower lows, so that is starting a bearish trend as well. If we break this support, like I said, it's likely we'll see lower price action and we can see those lower targets that we have mentioned before. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.